Hello and welcome to your Reviva Quarterly Tune-Up. My name is Joe, and today we are going to go through our dyno process. In this segment, we are going to follow a few different engines through one of the final processes here at Reviva. Once assembly is completed, the engine is moved to Dyno Prep. Here it is installed into one of our custom dyno carts. The technician then installs the engine harness, ECM, and flywheel. We then fill the engine with oil and prime the oil system simultaneously. The oil, fuel, and coolant all contain black light dye, which will help us verify your engine does not have any leaks after the dyno process. Now the cart is wheeled into the dyno cell. Once in place, we install the charge air cooler lines, air filtration system, and make all coolant and exhaust connections. We also connect the ECM to our scan tool. In an effort to reduce our hazardous waste, we clean and recycle fluids as much as possible. In place of using a starter, we actually use our dyno to crank the engine over for initial startup. We now enter into the 30-minute dyno run, which consists of 10 segments. First, we let the engine warm up at low idle. We then slowly bump the RPM until we get up to high idle. In this process, we are getting the oil hot, making sure the thermostat opens, and are seating the piston rings. Now at high idle, we put the engine at full load for 4 to 5 minutes. We are measuring the torque and horsepower output. We also monitor the oil and coolant temperature, along with oil and crankcase pressure. Now we enter into the cool down segment. First step, we drop the load to 40%. We then remove the load and have the engine running at 1500 RPM. Last step is to drop to low idle and verify the RPM and oil pressure match OE spec. Now that the engine is shut down, we drop the shades on the dyno cell door and bring out the black light. The technician checks for any coolant or oil leaks. Once we verify there are no issues, the coolant is evacuated and the engine is pulled from the dyno. Now the engine is moved to the dyno unprep area. This is where we drain the oil and remove all of the components that are not shipped with the engine. We also clean the engine in preparation for paint and packaging. I hope you learned a little bit more about the Reviva Advantage. We've been working with our distributors since 1944 and we appreciate your business. Thanks and have a great day.